All right, I'm shooting anamorphic real quick. 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio. Let's talk about how I did a video the other day, actually this morning. It feels like days ago, but it was kind of an experiment. And this is just an interesting thing. I'm not judging this in any kind of way. But I'm just saying, I think that what I did today was detrimental to my YouTube channel. I think that some people are really interested in real storytelling, and frankly, I think some people are interested in feature films and documentaries and things like that. But I think most people who come to YouTube, especially in this filmmaker space, are looking for just camera talk or filmmaking kind of technical talk, but they're not looking for actual art. And again, I'm not trying to judge anything, and I'm not saying some people's work is art and other people's work is not art or whatever. I'm not even saying that. But what I'm saying is that I think that I'm confusing the algorithm. If there even is an algorithm, I don't even know. Is that even a real thing? I actually saw a video this morning by this guy, Sean Kitching, who I've followed for years now. And, I've learned a lot from that guy. When I first started getting into filmmaking, I learned a lot from him. He gave a lot of tips on filmmaking and composition and all kinds of stuff. And he would usually put together these short films and show you how he shot it. And at the time, it seemed so complicated to me. But knowing what I know now, it was just so simple. And he really did the same videos over and over and over again. And today he shot a video, and I'm talking fast because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my lights because I know I'm running out of batteries on all these lights. But this was on my mind, so I wanted to talk about it. Sean Kitching talked about how he's going to start to do more storytelling, more, kind of meaningful work, and he's afraid it's going to destroy his channel because people are used to his channel as kind of a technical channel. Just talking about learning how to do filmmaking, learning how to set up lights, learning how to compose, learning how to expose, things like that. And I thought about that because I put out a video this morning that was just a story. And I actually did some cool filmmaking up front. I showed where I was in the scene. I did some beautiful work. But I don't think anybody's really interested in that kind of stuff. I think people would prefer to come here and listen to this, me complain about the algorithm. Talk about views, talk about getting monetized, talk about YouTube as a business. I think that's what YouTube is. You might talk about interesting things, and you might sometimes come and look for, a video about astrology or something like that. But that's not where people are following all the time. Some people do. And certainly there are some channels that have big followings who only talk about one thing. But I think overall, maybe I can only speak for myself, and I should only speak for myself, but I just think that people come here they like the way it looks. They like something about the way I talk. It's natural. I can talk off the top of my head. I'm an actor, so it's easy for me to be in front of a camera. People like that. I can connect with people. People like that. I do feel connected. I love the exchanges that I have in my comments section. It's genuine. It's real. The coolest thing for me is that I've acquired more Patreon people from my YouTube channel. And that's really what I care about the most. I care about my YouTube channel. I enjoy it. But I don't know. I'm not proud of a video that has 13,000 views because I talked about, how getting monetized is so difficult or something like that. I don't know. I was going to say, who cares? But obviously a lot of people care. And so I'm kind of at a crossroads. I don't know. Stories in 4K, this series that I'm doing, I decided to do a second season. And, a lot of people liked the first season, but it didn't do well in YouTube standards. It did crappy. In the grand scheme of things, nobody really watched it. Now, I have to say, a lot of people did watch my two movies. The Center of Distance and This Is the End for Me have gotten a lot of views. And people are starting to watch Brooklyn Quartet. So maybe that's what my channel is about. Trying to connect with people so that they're like, you know what, I want to watch his movie. And since I'm the star of the movie, because I'm the only actor in the movie, and it's, like a very high level filmmaking film, it's a professionally done work of art, maybe that is kind of a cool thing, even though it's not with a crew, it's not, not conventional in terms of filmmaking, and I'm actually working on a project now that I'm hoping will be more of a conventional filmmaking thing with a whole crew and fully cast film, and, that I'm just going to direct. Might be in it, but I doubt it. I don't know. I'm trying to I can't believe, I finally got monetized. It took me 4.5 years, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my channel. Because it goes up and down, up and down. I looked about an hour ago and I had 92 views on this video this morning. And that's the kind of video that I wish would get 13,000 views. But instead, 13,000 views is me complaining about monetization or the algorithm or something like that. Talking about easy mode. I don't care about easy mode. I don't care about any of it. I care about monetization because I want to make money on YouTube, and I do want to look at it as a business, but anytime I get in front of a camera, for me, it's a creative thing. I'm thinking of art. I'm thinking of filmmaking. I'm thinking of story. I'm thinking of a movie. I'm thinking of trying to make you cry, trying to make you laugh, trying to make you think, trying to make you wonder about something, trying to make you want to figure out a problem with me, to solve something, to get over shit, to get to the end, to find something that shows how resilient this journey was. That's what I think of. I don't think about, what's interesting about this is monetization. I don't think about that. I don't think like what was interesting about this was the lens or the camera. And I do like to do that sometimes. Like I'm using the Panasonic S5. I'm using my Siri 35mm f1.8 anamorphic lens, APS-C anamorphic lens. That is kind of interesting to me. I'm using a Holly Landmark Max lavalier mic. I'm talking directly into the mic, recording directly into the mic, so I have to sync the audio. It's kind of interesting. I'm using my little lights, a key light, hair light. I got, like Pixel, Neewer, a B&H tube light back there. It's kind of interesting. It's fun. But how many videos can you make about that? I'm not going to talk about the Panasonic S5 over and over and over again. I'm not interested in comparing the image quality of my camera to the newest Nikon or the newest Panasonic coming out or to the Sony ZV-E1. Like they're all awesome. I don't hate any of these cameras. I would love to have any of them, as long as I have a camera. I have a GH5. Who's interested in a GH5 today? Everybody still talks about it because it's a legendary camera, but who really cares? You would rather have an S5 Mark II or a 2X. You'd rather have a GH7, and you'd only rather have it because it's new. Because chances are 90% of you will never max out the capabilities of any of these cameras. Some people will. I don't know. People doing commercials, people doing client work, like if you're working for Nike and maybe Nike says, I need this 12K, 8K, open gate, like that's what I need. Like, okay. But I mean, most people be cool with 1080. Most people, it doesn't matter. Most people don't even care if it's a full-size HDMI or not, because most of you are not going to drop a monitor on top of your camera. You might, but you know what? Unless you're like running around doing crazy stuff, the micro HDMI is probably okay. It's probably okay if you're not pulling it in and out all the time, as long as you're careful. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be comparing, I think the Panasonic S5 has the most amazing image quality. But so does your camera. If you have a Fuji X-H2S or a Canon R5C or whatever, everybody has amazing image quality. A Sony a6400. When I was using that camera and I was using, what's his name? James Matthews Cine 4 color profile, it looked amazing. I just needed stabilization, so I bought an S5 and I got it. It was a straight trade because I had a bunch of APS-C lenses. So I sold my A6400, I sold all my lenses, and I got an S5 with a couple of lenses, and I was even able to buy these 2 anamorphic lenses. And I already had my father's vintage lenses, so I was set. But I mean, honestly, now that I've told you that, how many videos can I make about that? And would you even care? I don't think so. I noticed Dan Farrar is now talking about this nuclear plant by his home. And, you know, he's a photographer. He does photography videos. He talks about his cameras. He talks about color profiles. He talks about composition. But so he's afraid, I'm sure, that might hurt his channel. But he feels like he's doing something meaningful. And personally, I respect that so much more. I admire that. But is it good for him? I don't know about that. I don't know. You know, Luis Cabral, you know, he does material that's all about filmmaking. That's really all he talks about is cameras and, you know, color profile, like his LUTs, which buy his LUTs because they're incredible. But his channel does pretty well, and I think it's really consistent, and he is a phenomenally gifted filmmaker. But you're not going to be confused by his channel. I think my channel is kind of confusing. And trust me, I have incredible support, probably from 100 or 150 really solid people. And that's kind of amazing. Like if you come from a theater background like me and you're in a theater and you have 150 people in a 199 seat house or 150 people in a 99 seat house, that's dope. That's amazing. So I'm not mad at any of this, but I don't know. You know, I put that story up today and I thought it was an interesting story and it didn't do well, and I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just saying it's interesting. Like, am I hurting my channel? Am I going against the rules of YouTube? Am I hurting my chances of making more and more money? Maybe I should look at YouTube as a totally separate business just to make money and figure out how to do that, giving value that has nothing to do with what I really want to do. Like just kind of figuring out, like thinking like somebody in marketing or PR. Except that I'm so not that guy. I don't even think like that. But maybe that's what it is, you know. Maybe I have to really think about how much time I have to devote to this. And you know what? Honestly, I think I could spend 3 hours a day just doing YouTube. But the thing is, I don't even know if that's the right thing to do. I've seen plenty of channels that make these beautiful short films and tell these beautiful short stories and have tons and tons of followers. They get 1 million likes and they get, you know, like unbelievable amounts of views. I don't see how, like, I don't know. Maybe that's all they ever did. I don't know. I'm trying to pay attention to my SEO, to my thumbnail, to my titles. I also think that YouTube is very transactional with people. Like if you follow me, I'll follow you. If you like my videos, I'll like yours. If you watch mine, I'll watch yours. That ain't it. You know, like I'm the guy who's very supportive of other artists. Like when I was in the poetry world, if you wrote a book, I bought your book. Even if I thought you sucked, I bought your book because I want to be supportive. You know, I want to encourage people. When people ask me, what do you think? Will you read my book? Will you do? I said, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to judge anybody else's art. I just want to be supportive, you know? And so, but this transactional thing, I think I talked about this in the past. If I do a show in a theater and there are 1,500 people in the audience, what happens if all 1,500 of those people say, well, now you got to support me because I just paid $85 to come see your show? That's not possible. That's not going to happen. And I think YouTube is the same way. It's when you have people that you don't know. You know, like Matty Hapoya is not answering every comment in his videos because he's got 1 million followers. He can't do that. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't have to do that. He's got a legitimate, gigantic channel. iJustine is not answering. If I leave a comment on iJustine's channel, she's not answering me. I don't expect her to because there's 20 trillion comments. Even Camera Conspiracies, I always forget his name. I mean, when he puts out a video, he's got like 700 views in the first 10 minutes. That's unbelievable to me. And you know what? Like he has these videos where he critiques people's photography. He's not even a photographer. And he even says that. He's like, you're amazing. You're sending your photos in to me to critique them, and I don't even do this. You're asking me advice about filmmaking, and I'm not even a professional filmmaker. He says those words, and yet he's developed something that people know what to expect, and they enjoy it, and they come there all the time, and he earns a great living at YouTube. But that's all he does, and he loves doing it. He's got another channel, some kind of nutrition channel. I don't know, man. I can't figure it out. I can't get through that glass ceiling to get to the next level. So, you know what? I'm just complaining. Like, this is stupid. I'm doing the best I can. I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm being totally honest. I'm totally grateful. I'm good. I can pay my bills. I'm not, desperate about this at all. But I guess because I like to know that I'm doing well at something, that I'm accomplishing something, that I'm providing some kind of value to people, that people are getting something out of this channel. You know, how else are you going to know unless you have numbers? And I know that many, many people send me these beautiful emails. And again, I have Patreon people coming from here. And that is amazing. That gives me everything. But I'm not going to lie. I want to do better at YouTube. I want to figure it out. Been here for like 5 years now. I still haven't figured it out. I'm still putting up videos like I did today that are not doing well. And then I'll put up a video that suddenly gets 500 or 1,000 views, and I have no idea why. I'm like, what did I do? You know, it's not about the title or the thumbnail or the SEO, because I'm doing the exact same thing all the time. Maybe not the exact same words, but I'm approaching everything in the same way. And, you know, how can you know what everybody's going to be interested in? You know, unless I make a title like, a plane crashed in New York City today, of course, everybody's going to click on that title, and then they're never going to come back because it was a lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't figure it out. I can't figure it out, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. That's what this video is about. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying my best. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm so grateful to be working on a feature film. I hope that you will all watch my feature film when I'm done. I hope that you will all watch The Center of Distance if you haven't seen it yet. My first feature film that I shot on my phone. I hope you'll watch This Is the End for Me, my second feature film that I just posted about, 6 months ago. My second feature film, I shot it all on the Panasonic S5. Award-winning film, both of them. I hope you'll watch Brooklyn Quartet, my mini-series. To me, the most important work that I've ever created. Beautiful characters. You get to see me play 4 different characters at the same time. I hope that you'll join my Patreon. My goal is to get 200 more Patreon members, or 180 more by the end of April. Seems kind of impossible right now, but it's good to have goals. It's good to have dreams. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope you'll join my Patreon. Mostly, I hope you'll keep coming back. Hit the like button every time you come here. I hope you leave comments. I love the exchange. I will answer every single comment. Unless you leave something that is totally indecipherable, that I have no idea what you're talking about, I'm not going to make believe I understand what you wrote and answer you something just to answer you. But if you leave something that, makes sense to me, and I'm going to exchange with every single person. And, I do try to answer every single comment, mainly because I enjoy it. It means a lot to me when you take the time to do that. That shows a lot. You could do anything with your time. So I'm going to keep doing this in the way that I think is the right way to do it. And I'm not going to lie. Hopefully, I hope it does well for me. But if not, I'm still going to be here. I'm not leaving. But I do wonder, with almost every video that I make, am I destroying my YouTube channel with this video? Because I did something that I think maybe people are going to be like, whoa, that's not what you did last week. I mean, I've had people come here and say, just turn on the camera and talk. That's all we want to see. Just talk about anything. Just do that. Really? But really, that's what people say to me sometimes. Or people say, yeah, just shoot. Just shoot. Show us these beautiful shots. We love your composition, your color grading, all of that. We love it. Just do that. Okay. Just tell stories. You're a great storyteller. Unbelievable. Teach us how to do your lights. We love the way you set up your lights. How do you get such great sound all the time? Like, what is it? I've made videos about all that stuff. How many videos can you make about that? I can't make too many videos about lights and sound and composition. Like, really? Is that what YouTubers do? They just keep making the same videos over and over and over again? What is Think Media doing? They're making the same videos over and over and over again. Tony and Chelsea, like, they have this incredible photography channel. But really, all they're talking about is the same thing all the time, photography. And so I guess it's kind of like a podcast about photography, but really it's the same stuff all the time. Jared Polin, Gerald Undone, every time something new comes out, he's got a new video. That's cool. He's kind of like Consumer Report. Danny Gewirtz, I notice he's not doing many videos anymore because he's making feature films now. He's running around chasing Cindy McLaughlin around, the greatest athlete in the world. And I think he's probably thinking to himself sometimes, how many more videos can I make about filmmaking? Or, Mark Bone, the same thing. How much can I talk about documentary on YouTube? He has a course, The Art of Documentary. I think he goes deeper into it with the people who pay to join his school. There are so many great people on YouTube. Everyone I've mentioned, they're so talented, they're so good, they're so interesting to watch. But I'm sure they think sometimes, how many of these videos can I make? I mean, they have to think that. So I think it all the time too. And I'm always trying to figure it out. The difference between me and all of them is that they're making money. They have a tremendous amount of followers. I guess I've never completely committed either way. Like, if I was completely a filmmaking channel, then I would be focusing much more on making commercials. Like, I could do those videos that you see that, some of these amazing filmmaking and photography channels make. I could, shoot in 60 frames per second in slow motion and show you these great shots of lenses and cameras and gimbals and all that stuff, but I'm not interested in that. I don't want to spend my time doing that. I don't mind talking about it, but I'm not setting up all these shots and shit, because you can see that from 50 million different creators, and every one of them are amazing. Every one of them. I watch them. Potato Jet I love. I feel like Potato Jet is really unique. I feel like he's a great storyteller. I feel like a show like his could be on PBS or, like the Travel Channel or something like that. Like, he's a real storyteller. He's an interesting guy. He's got a great personality and incredibly professional, like a great filmmaker, in my opinion. His sound, everything's on point. He kind of includes you in his personal life. He's got his wife, Carrie, with him all the time, and he includes her, and you see his dogs, and I think that's awesome. I love that. That's why I like Danny Gewirtz so much. Same thing. Those guys are wildly successful here at YouTube. So, yeah, I haven't figured it out. But, you know what? It's fun to be here using my anamorphic lens right now. If this is not in focus, I'm not even going to post this because I kind of rushed to do this, and I'm shooting an f1.8. So if I didn't nail the focus, manual focus, I'm not going to post it because I'm not going to even bother you with such horribleness, make you look at something like that. But if it's in focus, I am going to post it, and maybe this rant and this unfocused, all over the place conversation is equally as horrible. I don't know. I hope not. I hope you got something out of this. Maybe you did. Maybe sometimes when you just speak and you have no idea what you're talking about, maybe that is of great value because maybe other people can relate to it, and maybe it'll put you in focus when you look. Maybe you'll see something in me and go, you know what? I understand why he's not focused about this. If you do feel that way, let me know what you came to. So, yeah, all the stuff that I said, that's the end of this video.